To find C on the piano, we're just going to start off by finding a group of 2 black keys. You can see how here we have a group of 3, a group of 2, and a group of 3. We're only interested right now in this group of 2. Now C is located directly to the left of the group of 2 black keys. So this note right here, this is the goal of the video, to find that note. So we're going to start off by finding a group of 2 black keys, and then C is going to be the first white key directly to the left. Now, don't get confused, this looks kind of like it's to the left as well. There's 2 white keys next to each other, but this one right here is actually closer to the group of 3. We're interested in the one right here, as close as you can get directly to the left of the group of 2. As you can see here, there's actually multiple groups of 2 black keys on the piano. It's actually how the piano is laid out, by alternating groups of 2 black keys and 3, and then 2 black keys and 3, and then 2 black keys over and over and over again from the bottom to the top of the instrument. So that also means there's going to be multiple C's on the piano. So this note right here, directly to the left of this group of 2, is a C. This right here is another C, it gets directly to the left of this group of 2. Then right here, another C, it's directly to the left of the group of 2. As you can tell, as the notes get to the right, they get higher and higher. So here's one C, here's the next C, and here is the next C. So as you can probably tell, finding C on the piano is actually pretty simple. Find any group of 2 black keys and then play the white key directly to the left of that. So now I'm going to give you some good next steps, some things you should do now so you can find C on the piano. Those are going to include some practice tips so you can find C quickly and consistently, so you know you don't forget tomorrow, how to find middle C on the piano, how to find the keys that come right after C, which is really simple once you know where C is, and then also what C looks like on the staff. So first up here, I'm going to give you a practice technique so you will never forget what C looks like. So as I said earlier, C is always located by the group of 2 black keys. On the piano, we have groups of 2 and 3, and 2 and 3, and 2s and 3s. All we care about right now are those groups of 2s. We're going to play all the groups of 2 black keys from the lowest to the highest. That is the far left all the way to the far right side of the piano. So we have a group of 2 down here, then a group of 2, then 2 more, all the way to the top. So again, you're just going to sit down to your piano. First thing you're going to do is play all those groups of 2s from the bottom to the top of the keyboard. Now, like I said, C is always to the left. So the next thing I want you to do is the same exact tip. You're going to play all the groups of 2s, but you're going to slide off and play C every time. So you have group of 2, then C. 2, then C. 2 more, and there's C. 2 more, and C. And then finally, you're just going to skip the step of playing the group of 2. You're going to go to the group of 2, just play C. Then go to this group of 2, play C. So you're not really going to play the group of 2 anymore. You're just going to go there, then play the C, then play the C. Now there is one little trick. If you have a piano that ends on a group of 3, and there's these 2 white keys right here, actually the very highest note of the piano is also a C. That's just kind of a quirk of the instrument. It's a group of 3 and 2 had to end eventually. So this is actually a C hanging out all the way up here. Okay, so up next, I promised you we'd find middle C. Before we do that, I do want to tell you that if you're a beginner, knowing exactly where middle C is sometimes be confusing, and it's not something to get overstressed about. If you learn something and you learn it in what's called the wrong octave, maybe a C too high or a C too low, it's not going to be a big deal. You can just adjust later on to the correct C. So again, I'm going to show you how to find it, but don't lose too much sleep over it right now. Just kind of let it sink in over several days. So the easiest answer is that if you have a piano or a keyboard that is full size, that is, there are 88 keys on it, middle C is simply the 1, 2, 3, 4th C from the bottom. In fact, it's often called C4 for that reason. So you just count up C, 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 there's middle C. Now the issue we run into is with keyboards are not full size, and that's where it's kind of confusing because some keyboards will start here but cut it off here, some will cut it off here. The best piece of advice if you're working with a smaller instrument is, again, remember, don't get too stressed about it right now, but if you want to know, the best piece of advice is try to find the logo kind of in the middle. It's going to be the C closest to that logo. For example, my logo is directly in the middle between E and F, and the middle C is the one right here, the C closest to that logo. Now you can also do it by sound, but honestly as a beginner that's pretty tough. It's pretty easy to switch an octave and think you're hearing this one, but you're actually hearing this one. So I wouldn't rely on sound too much. Again, I'd probably go, if you don't have a full-size instrument, go with the logo, closest you can get to the logo, closest C. And then again, if you have a really odd shaped keyboard that for some reason starts here and ends here and it throws you off, you'll figure it out after playing piano for a few weeks. At that point, you can adjust, you'll be fine. So now I'm going to show you how to find the next 2 letters after C. This is actually extremely easy now that you know where C is located on the piano. All you have to do is play C directly to the left of the group of 2, The next letter in the alphabet after C is D, so the next white key on the piano after C is D. Then after that, the next letter is E, the next letter on the piano is E. So the alphabet goes C, D, E, so the piano is going to go C, D, E. This is going to be true in any octave. Up here, you can do C, D, E. Then just like C always looks a certain way, C is to the left group of 2, D will always be the one in the middle of the group of 2, so there's a D, and E will always be the one on the right. The reason I want to show you that is because once you know C, it is so simple to find those next 2 notes. They're just directly after them, C, D, and E. And also because C, D, and E are based around the group of 2, it's really easy to practice finding them. So for example, that whole exercise where we did 2 and then to the left, we could do that with D as well. You could do a group of 2, the one in the center is D. So you can do the same exercise, groups of 2, and then you could do the one in the center of all those is D. So that's actually the same thing within work for E, obviously, right? You could go to the right, and that would be E. Or you could do this exercise where you just play C, D, E all the way to the top. Next C, D, E. Then the next, all the way to the top of the piano. So again, once you know C, it is so simple to learn the notes that are right beside it around group of 2. So I figured I'd show you that real quick while we're at it. Okay, so finally, I just want to show you what C looks like on the musical staff. The staff here is super cool. It's actually fascinating. Believe it or not, lots of beginners and even some intermediate players don't really know how the staff works. They just memorize the whole thing. It's really cool. In the future, I'll try to make a video where I break it down. It'll make a lot of sense, but we do kind of need to have one starting note memorized, and middle C is a pretty good one. So that right there is how middle C looks. You can see it is a line below the top set of 5 lines, or it is one line above the bottom set of 5 lines. So that's kind of how you locate middle C. If you see that upper thing swirly there and you see the first line below, that's middle C. See that bottom, what's called the bass clef or the F clef, the curved one, right above that, that's middle C. Again, I'm not going to get into details. I would make this video a 25-minute video. We keep it really short and simple. That is what middle C looks like. If you see that, you play that. And that's all I have for you about finding C. Now, before you go, if you have any questions or if you have any musical topics you'd like to see me cover, please go down, comment, let me know down there. See you next time.